He's my favorite social media influencer, which says a lot because he's been dead for 22 years. Mike Mentzer, absolutely love you, darling. If you're watching this, which I know you're not, great stuff. Keep putting that positive information out there. So much better than most of the crap that you see online, which is why I've really fallen out of love with Instagram. Mike Mentzer, man, that name is everywhere at the moment. To be honest, the title is a little bit clickbaity because I actually love him. I think there's so much value in that information that's finding its way around right now. He's my favorite social media influencer, which says a lot because he's been dead for 22 years. But there is one fundamental thing that I disagree with. The reason I disagree with it is not because I believe he was lying or that he was wrong or that that didn't work for him. This principle didn't work for him. It's more a case of, as a trainer, when I see information online, when I research information, I have to think about how that information is going to apply to the everyday man who is going into the gym for the first time, guy who just wants to, you know, make some gains, but he's not exactly in that bodybuilder mindset. He's not enhanced. I'm from the land of naturals. Mentzer claims that his workout philosophy, HIIT training, high intensity training, is the best philosophy for naturals. And I agree because I have been doing a form of HIIT training pretty much for the last 15 years. But one set to failure, I need to modify that a little bit. When I'm working with someone, if I want to try and push them to failure, there's a way, there's a process that we're going to do that. And it isn't to just go into the gym, pick the dumbbells up and just go to failure immediately. And again, to clarify, I'm not disagreeing with the principles. I am applying them to the everyday man. So I don't think that the everyday man can necessarily go into the gym once every 7 or 8 days, train for 11 minutes and make unrealistic gains. And I'll tell you why, because it's a mentality thing, it's a conditioning thing. That is going to be the problem that holds those guys back. What I would suggest is, if you want to push yourself to failure, and I've experimented with this myself, and I really think I've stumbled upon the formula that works. Let's say traditionally you're going to be doing 8 to 12 reps, and usually the way I would recommend anyone who wants to work in that rep range to gain a little bit of mass would be to do 12 reps, let's say, just keep it simple, 30 kilos, pop that up to 35 kilos, we're going to go for about 10 reps, top set we're looking at about 40 kilos, whatever the exercise, it's irrelevant, you're going to go for the 8 reps, progressively increasing the load. If you want to go to failure, especially in that 1 to 3 rep range, you are not going to want to dig too deep into your central nervous system's, let's call it, resilience for that workout. Doing 3 relatively similar exercises in terms of rep range, in terms of weight, regardless of the fact that you're trying to push yourself, that you're trying to increase it, I think is going to be ineffective, because when we're talking about the 1 to 3 rep range, we are talking all or nothing. We're talking a weight that you can barely get up. In order to prepare ourselves for that, here's what I would recommend. Let's say our target weight is 50 kilos on the dumbbell incline press. That's one of my favorite exercises to push myself on. So how am I going to get there? I cannot just walk into the gym that morning, pick up 50 kilos, bash that out. I might be able to do it, maybe, but more likely than not, my body, my system isn't going to be prepared for that sort of intensity immediately. I'm going to have to build up. And what am I going to do? Am I going to take steps upwards, you know, linear steps, 20 kilos to 25 to 30 to 35? No, that's going to eat into my energy reserves too much. And by the time I get to my target set, I'm going to be absolutely worn out. I'm going to be damaged for the day. In terms of your recovery capability, I'm 100% with what Mentzer said. Don't do a second set because you're eating into your ability to properly recover. Here is what I would do. If you are new to this style of heavy training, if you've just been going through the motions, 8 to 10 reps, 3 sets for the last 5 years, and you really want to fuck your system up, if you want to shock it to the core, it's going to take you a while to figure out what your actual strength is. You're going to have to play around a little bit, but once you've got an idea, I would say my first set on a day when I'm looking to max out, when I'm looking to really push myself, 1 to 3 reps is going to be just 5 reps. I'm going to go for less than half of the weight that I'm targeting just to get myself warmed up, just to take my muscles through that range of motion. I have always called them primer sets. They are priming your muscles for the shocking experience they are about to feel. I would take, let's say, 20 kilos. I'm going to go 5 slow, consciously slow control reps. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be very easy, this weight. but I am going to go for excessive time under tension in order to prime my muscles and put a little bit of pressure. I'm then going to do maybe another primer set at a slightly heavier weight. I'm going to go up to, let's say, 30. I'm not going to be hitting those upper echelons. I'm not going to be going towards those upper weights until I'm moving for failure. Let's keep it at 30. Again, a very manageable weight. Just 4 reps. Maybe I'm going to do 2 more sets of that. But again, this is all manageable. This isn't going to be shocking me too much. This isn't going to be eating into my energy reserves. This is all going to be manageable. Then, and only then, oh, there's a mosquito outside. Then, and only then, do you pick up that heavy weight and push yourself to the max. Now, if I try to jump from 20 to 30 to 40, that is going to affect my maximum output, which is why I want to keep that weight low to begin with, and then I want to jump to my top set. So, like I say, Mike Mentzer, absolutely love you, darling. If you're watching this, which I know you're not, great stuff. Keep putting that positive information out there. So much better than most of the crap that you see online, which is why I've really fallen out of love with Instagram. If you are a natural, new to this style of training, I would say prime your muscles. Don't just jump into something overly intense. And to be honest, I think if you did try to just jump into a high intensity exercise, what feels intense for you the first time you ever try that probably isn't actually going to be maxing out. You're going to feel like you're maxing out, but there's so much more that you can give. And by priming your muscles, you are mentally preparing yourself for that endurance, for that power, for that struggle. That is what is going to help you push out those 1 to 3 maxed out reps. If you've got a training partner, good for you, but I've never had a training partner in my life, and I have been smashing this style of training for 15 years. Just make sure you choose safe exercises. Avoid the barbell if you can as well, because, you know, once you get stuck under there, you're fucked. I always prefer dumbbells. You can push them to the side if things get difficult, but listen, give it a go. You're going to increase your muscle density. If you get your body fat down low enough, you're going to look incredible regardless of how big you actually are. A smart way to stay lean, to stay aesthetic, and to stay healthy. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe for more top information. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.